and I have more information about what I do. I have an exhibition in Belgrade now, and these are pictures. I didn't bring my big portfolio, but these pictures are all in the exhibition, so you can get a sense of the scale. They're very big. Did you see this one?
Yes, we even made photo between these two.
So there's more pictures of what I do.
Slobodno pogledajte nek to prođe ovako da prelistate da vidite njen rad.
So I'm an artist. I live in New York City, and the technique that I use is Japanese.
We can go two sentences by two, so it will be faster to translate. Vollmer je umetnik koji živi i radi u Njujorku, na Manhattanu, ima svoj studio i drži časove, predaje po američkim koleđima i univerzitetima, baš demonstrira ovu tehniku japanskog drveta. Možete da vidite njene alate. You can explain something about the tools?
Let's see, but where do I begin? From the beginning, I'm an artist. I have a master's degree in printmaking.
Ima magistraturu iz grafike from the Hunter's College.
So I do etching and silkscreen and western wood block.
Znači, bavi se i dubokom štampom, makrotinta bakropis i sipar štampom i radi i zapadni drvorez, to je ono sa valjkom i sa uljanim bojama.
But when I finished school,
ali kad je završila školu,
I have a small studio. I want to work without solvents and without a press.
Pošto ima mali atelje, pošto Manhattanu je prostor vrlo dragocen, onda je rešila da pronađe tehniku koja će da odgovara da bude bez razređivača, koja će biti u stvari neotrovna tehnika, bez svih onih isparenja.
So I decided to learn this Japanese technique.
I onda je rešila da nauči tu japansku tehniku.
Which is printed with watercolor.
Zato što se tu štampa sa vodenim bojama.
Instead of oil. Do you do wood block here?
Of course, vi radite drvorez.
But with wood block,
it's the same. Ja sad njima pričam na srpskom, genijalno.
You take the block and you roll it with the color. But with Japanese, you put the color on with a brush. And I'll need some water actually.
Ja treba nam vodim zero water.
Too many things and not enough things.
Okay.
The main difference between Japanese wood block and Western wood block is it's done with watercolor.
Glavna razlika između zapada i japanskog drvoreza, što se japanski drvorez radi sa vodenim bojama,
instead of oil-based,
umesto ovih naših boja sa uljane osnove.
It's printed with the printing baren.
Postoji ova alatka koja se zove baren, koja je specijalna alatka okrugla, blago zaobljena sa ovim sa listom na dozvu.
And this is instead of a press.
Umesto presi i kod nas umesto kašika. But we print wood block with a spoon. We just use the spoon very similar way.
If you put the spoon here, the spoon goes into the low areas.
Of course.
The important thing about the baren, it goes over the surface and doesn't press into the low areas.
Yes, a ova alatka, pošto je specijalno projektovana za to, on ide samo po površini, a ne ulazi u one delove koji su izrezani i koji ne treba da štampaju.
Set these aside. Now we have one color for each block. This is my pink block. I have my blue. Oh, I didn't bring those multiple ones. Different areas. And here's my black block. And my yellow. Now they all line up with this little Kento registration here. Can you see the corner?
Da bi ih upasovala, ona mora da obeleži registraciju.
Here and here. That's for registration. So all the colors line up.
Svaka ploča je za jednu boju, znači koliko boja, toliko ploča. I zato mora svaka ploča da ima registraciju da bi ih upasovala, da bi sve leglo na isto mesto.
To je isto kao kod linore, da oni pokazuju što linore za boju.
Don't need this. These are my printing brushes. I have three kinds of Florence. 1, 2, 3. I have ink, more brushes. And I have water.
Yeah, what is in the bottle? Could you tell first about tools and about the paper and then to proceed printing, because it's very important to understand.
So I have my colors here, and I'm going to prepare my block to be wet, so that while I talk about the tools, the moisture will go into the block and make it easier to print.
Znači, prvo priprema kvasi blok da se on da dobro primi, da upije vodu, pa će tek dok vam priča o alatima i o papiru, onda se ploča u stvari sprema za rad.
So my ideas are all Western creative ideas, but my technique is Japanese.
U svom radu ona znači imate zapadni pristup ideji, ali kompletno tradicionalnu japansku tehniku u izvođenju.
So I'm looking back at the history of art. Do people know ukiyo-e prints? Ukiyo-e? 19th century Japanese prints?
Hokusai, Hiroshige.
Hokusai.
Okay, next lesson.
This is a very important period for printmaking.
Jako važan period uopšte za grafičku umetnost, to je period ukiyo štampe i to je u Japanu kada je Edo, današnji Tokio, postao prestolnica Japana. Do tog perioda je Kyoto bio prestolnica Japana i onda Edo postaje centar. Okay, I start.
It's a very important, I hear. It's a very important for graphic artists. This is an important period to understand. It's the foundation of Japanese culture.
To je u stvari jako bitno uopšte za umetnost i za grafičku umetnost, naročito da obratite pažnju na taj period, jer u tom dobu grafička umetnost u Japanu doživljava neverovatan uspon i prave se grafike obavezno da Hokusaja uzmete i pogledate, Hokusai, Hiroshige, Utamaro, čitava gomila tih japanskih umetnika, radile drvoreze koji su po apsolutno istom ovom principu i koji su dostizali čak po 15 do 16 preklopa, izvanredno rafiniran rad bio, ali to vam je isto bitno za istoriju umetnosti, jer na evropsku umetnost impresionističkog perioda Hokusajeve grafike, kada su iz Japana stigle u Evropu, napravile su fantastičan prelomni uticaj. I to bi trebalo isto da obratite pažnju, jer su Japanci sa svojim bojama, sa svežinom i pristupom, sa tim širokim žutim površinama i svetlošću, strašan uticaj izvršili na impresionizam tog doba. To je osnovna stvar. Okay.
Yeah, it's very important. And it's also does anybody know about anime and all the Japanese contemporary art? It's based in the ukiyo-e prints. It grew from that 19th century foundation. Okay, so in Japanese printmaking, the first special thing is tools.
Za japanski drvorez je jako bitan alat i naravno Japanci kakvi su, oni su napravili savršen alat.
These tools come from an important tradition of tool making in Japan, the same for the samurai swords, you know.
iz tradicije japanskog mača, na isti način se stvari pod tim visokim standardima tog zanata pravi i japanski alat. Can you open one of these just to show as you showed yesterday?
Well, you see the large ones don't open. These are held this way. The small ones open so you have more steel. This one in particular, I have a large amount of steel because when I sharpen them, like this, the steel becomes shorter.
Svaki put se oštrenjem malo troši čelik, iako je čelik, i onda su Japanci smislili da u stvari se svaki put pomere i taj metal je u sredini drške.
I don't know if you can see on this tool, it's clearer with the larger tool. The two types of steel.
Na preseku možete da vidite da je alat napravljen od dve vrste čelika.
Can you see the two steels? This one at the tip is very brittle.
Jedan je krt,
like a razor blade.
Ja, i oštar je kao žilet.
You see right here they come together. And that's heat forged. They put it in an oven and they pound it.
Kuje se usijan čelik, znači čelik koji se u vatri, u peći koji se usija pa se onda kao mačevi što su radili.
And it's because this is so sharp and brittle, it will break if I hit it very hard. If I carve my, let's see, this one's stamped already. Let me show you this one. If I'm the bevel side down, it cuts very smoothly. What can I say about the tools? Did everybody see the two stools? So each of them has the two, even when they're a different size. But you can't see it.
Znači, obično uvek se pravi od dve vrste čelika.
Each tool comes in a family, the big one, the medium one, the small one.
I po presecima postoje kao tri grupe u stvari tih alatki, bez obzira da li su velike ili male. Znači ima ono kao U, latinično kao V latinično i ima ova posebna treća vrsta koja postoji samo u Japanu.
And that's true for each family. Yeah. For example, I have 3, you get it.
Yes. Ovo vam je U presek latinični i onda ga ima od velikog prečnika do sasvim malenog. Pa onda postoji B presek i onda postoji...
And the larger ones have the ring on the back so you can hit it with a mallet. The smaller ones...
April je donela Ivani neke materijale koje je fotokopirala, tako da ćete to isto imati, jer još je lakše kad se pogleda i kad možete da to zadržite.
And these are all from Japan.
Ovi su svi njeni japanski, originalni.
And I think I mentioned that it was difficult in New York to find a teacher.
Teško je bilo da pronađe, imala je problema da pronađe profesora japanskog drvoreza u Njujorku, naravno.
Even in New York, even in a big city, it's difficult. Not very many people know this technique.
Jednostavno, ljudi ne znaju za tu tradicionalnu tehniku. Ja mislim da je ovo prvi put ovde i mi smo imali kod nas na fakultetu demonstraciju da je japanski drvorez izveden, tako da znate da ovo je jedinstvena prilika da u originalu vidite kako se radi. Znači ne zna se, ni kod nas na fakultetu je bilo sad u petak prvi put.
So today there are some importers in the U.S. There's McLean, there's a few other, there are more Japanese people in New York City also.
Da, u Njujorku živi puno i Japanaca, ljudi putuju, tako da sad ima još neki u Njujorku koji znaju za japanski drvorez.
So the technique is more accessible now.
Tako da sada može više da se sazna o toj tehnici.
And
But you went to Japan too.
And I went to Japan in 2004 to meet other printmakers. And the sad thing in Japan, many Japanese printmakers use Western techniques. Etching.
Puno japanskih grafičara koristi zapadne tehnike, a slabije se neguje tradicije.
So some of the older people in Japan, they're surprised and happy that an American is interested in their traditional old technique. But they're pleased.
Za Japance je bilo zadovoljstvo da je jedan američki umetnik zainteresan za njihove tradicije.
They're pleased to hear that I tell people about it. And as an artist, I find it very useful. It's great. It's very flexible. I have good registration. I have good color. I don't need a press.
Za umetnika je to vrlo korisno zato što može jednostavnim sredstvima, prirodnim sredstvima, laganim za upotrebu da se organizuje bilo gde. Ne treba je presa, ne upotrebljava smrdljive razređivače, toksične boje i sve to. Sve što treba to su pigment.
From pigment. I was so surprised to find your students using pigment
in paintings, yeah.
And in the U.S. it's not so often that people use pigment. They spend money to buy, French colors. But for this technique, I can use pigment with water.
Za ovu tehniku koristi pigment i vodu.
So we talked a little bit about the tools. There's a sequence of carving. All the Japanese technique was developed by professionals. There was a publisher who worked with the carver. The publisher decided what would sell, how to organize money. The carver carves all the blocks. Oh, first I forgot the artist. The artist does the drawing. The carver carves the block. The printer prints. So we have 4 people.
And the publisher.
The publisher, carver, printer, artist.
Artist at the end. Thank you very much. So, u tom periodu ukio štampe, kada je štampa stvarno bila strahovito cenjena i bilo je svuda, čitav biznis je postojao oko toga. Znači, uvek u tim japanskim projektima postoji izdavač. Znači, izdavač je taj koji organizuje posao i celu tu finansijsku konstrukciju i tako dalje. Postoji umetnik čija je uloga samo da napravi crtež. Znači, umetnik samo radi crtež, zatim postoji, kako bi to rekli, rezač, nikad ne znam kako bi prevela to, ovaj koji graver, koji dubi, koji znači, urezuje ploču, i postoji 4. ličnost u lancu, to je štampar. Znači, on je taj koji radi štampu, boje i to sve.
I 5. onaj koji prodaje.
U stvari to organizuje izdavač unapred, zato što izdavač hoće da radi projekat samo ako zna da će to moći da proda.
And about the paper?
The paper is very special.
And very important.
She knows all about the paper. This one is printed on Japanese paper, kozo paper.
Handmade?
Yes, all the best Japanese paper is handmade. But like the ukiyo-e prints, the paper is made by experts who do it from the time they're kids. They do it all their life. It's very special.
Japanski papir je nešto bez čega ne postoji japanski drvorez, jer ne možete japanski drvorez da štampate na našem papiru. To je papir koji u principu tradicije koja se prenosila s kolena na koleno, familije čitave su se bavile proizvodnjom papira i pravi se na tradicionalni način od biljaka koje rastu samo u Japanu. Znači, to je ovo sad što vam pokazala, to je kozo, papir od tih.
That one's very strong. And this is made from kozo fiber, the inner bark of the mulberry tree.
I unutrašnja kora od duda. Ali kad smo mi razgovarali, mi isto imamo dud, ali mi imamo crni dud i beli dud, a oni imaju neki dud bez plodova, koji je dud posebno koji koriste za pravljanje papira. Unutrašnja kora, u stvari, kad se skine kora, pa onda onaj unutrašnji kao svilenkasti deo od kore, prve to koriste.
So it's very strong.
Do you know technique of making the paper?
It's a lifetime of learning.
Yeah.
I have far too much to learn to do this part, but I think it's very important to understand that the craftsmen who make the tools, the craftsmen who make the paper, the craftsmen who make the print, all work together in Japanese to make fine work together.
Znači, postoji apsolutno tradicionalno, svako radi svoj deo zanata, a svi rade na zajedničkom projektu. I tradicija japanskog pravljenja papira, to ćete isto iz istorije umetnosti da učite, to je jedan predivan, ali mukotrpan zanat gde se te japanske biljke, kozo na prvom mestu, onda gampi, kozo gampi.
Kozo is the most common.
Yes.
90% of paper is kozo bark. Then we have Mitsumata and Gampi.
Yes.
Are the three fibers that are used.
Znači, oni su pravili papir u reciklažu.
Znam,
toga pravimo
pa ko će
japanski
sad
papir.
japanski papir?
And I gave you some more information.
Yes.
Znači, to su u principu, to su vrlo vlaknaste biljke. To je suština japanskog papira, da su to biljke sa dugim vlaknima. I u preradi tih vlakna, to, ako se sećate, možda ste po filmovima starim gledali, te biljke se tuku u hladnim potocima dok potpuno omekšaju, dok se sav onaj deo sa hlorofilom, ona biljna masa, dok se izgubi i ostanu samo vlakna. I onda se to u kadama potapa i sa onim mrežama se vadi to ko je bio kad je nisam pravila demonstraciju i to sve.
There's a big difference. They don't use blankets between the sheets. They just stack them on top of one another.
Okay, and I remember some images from the outside of the wooden walls.
They dry them on the wall, yes.
Da, oni naređuju kao mi u zapadnoj tradiciji što se prave sendviči sa ovim filcevima ili tkaninama za sušenje, nego ih stavljaju napolju na zidovima koliba ili na nekim mrežama.
Drying them on boards here.
Daske, znači na otvorenom se suše. I šta je karakteristično, da u tim papirima koji su jako tanki, postoje ta duga vlakna koji su kao armatura i ti papiri su u stvari strašno žilavi. Njih ne možete da pocijenete lako. Znači oni su strašno žilavi, a vrlo tanki. Imaju baš jako dobru moć upijanja. Ne preterano, ni ne odpijaju. Baš u pravoj meri.
Oh, now I'm going to print on this paper. The real printing is with damp paper, but I don't have enough time to dampen it. So I'm using a very light paper. This one is 70% kozo.
Ovo je 70% kozo, zato što se pravo štampanje ona ga vlaži, ali ga vlaži među tkaninama i onda to je jedan proces koji malo više traje. I sad samo za ovu demonstraciju ona će na tom tankom papiru koji je 70% kozo da vam pokaže kako se to radi.
So it's 70% kozo. It's not as strong as 100% kozo.
Nije toliko žilo.
But it's from Japan. I order all my paper from Japan or from a New York distributor. I think it's very important to have good paper. So you saw how much pigment I put on? Tiny little bit. And then I put paste on. This, pretend it's not blue. I accidentally got blue in here. This is supposed to be clear.
Treba da bude providno, one slučajno se...
A little bit of that, a little bit of this. And mix them
How can you
together.
explain what's that blue thing?
Traditionally in Japan, it's rice paste.
Aha, to je u stvari tradicionalno u Japanu je pirinčani lepak. Sad ovo je zamena za taj pirinčani lepak, to je da ne bi, ako je čista voda, voda nema viskozitet, voda je skroz tečna, nema masu. A ova u stvari pasta, to bi bilo kao tradicionalno pirinčano mleko koje ima malo onu klizavu masu, znači nešto što će da drži pigment.
And what it does is break the surface tension so that it prints smoothly. It prints very quickly. And then I set this aside and I do again and again and again, and I can put them on top of one another.
Do you put anything between?
No, maybe I should do two.
Oni se jako brzo suše. Ja sam gledala u njenom ateljevu kad je pravila štampanja, mislim do 50 otisaka, ja ne znam da li bilo sat vremena, iz 3 boje, iz 4 boje. Jedan, drugi, treći i onda kako, kao ikebana, sve organizovano i samo ih vodi i onda slaže jedan na drugi. Onda posle za drugu boju krene iz početka i onda posle opet. Tako da je to nevjerojatno brzo.
One color at a time.
Boja po boji.
What kind of wood do you use for?
If I can find nice linden wood, I use nice linden wood.
Ona voli lipu, zato što se lipa lako reže, lipa je vrlo mekana. Ali u principu ide voćno drvo, to znate, trešnja, višnja, kruška najbolja.
This is, oh. See, I missed my registration down there. And then you stack them, like this. And then you move on to the yellow. I'm going to do yellow next here. So this is my paintbrush. I move to my yellow brush.
Do you need something to clean? Nemamo papirne maramice?
Imamo.
Okay, there are some paper,
Some tissues.
yes.
So I won't mix my colors
And
together
now, that's very
inadvertently.
important.
Thank you so much.
Hvala.
Hvala.
Eto, stvarno, mislim, kako misliš to? Sljedeći put.
Just a very small amount,
Znači, vrlo malo.
because the pigment is very strong. Let's see, and a little paste. And water.
Možemo ostati čakati.
A šta ćete za japanski papir?
Pa neka se snađeš. Naprave.
Mi smo stigli do Jape. Mi smo pravimo na akademiji od duda, ali nije baš tako, zato što je naš dud malo različit. Onda isto smo pravili od suvog lišća od kukuruza. To isto može, to se kuva po 2-3 sata.
Dojete na papu.
Da, čak ne.
I think I'll do it again.
Ako sve završite ovde, onda šta ćete dalje da učite? Čovjek mora da uči dok je živ. Ja još uvijek učim prema tome.
I didn't like that one. I'm going to do it again.
Okay?
Did I have to?
Of course.
The reason I can do it again is because of the accurate Kento registration system.
Yes. Sad nije s ovim zadovoljno što je odštampala, nije dovoljno jako, sad će da ponovi, a to može da ponovi zato što je sistem registracije potpuno precizan, na milimetar, i ona sve sve može.
One of the important things about having good paper is that it doesn't stretch and change size.
To vam isto jako bitno. Odlika takvog dobrog papira da se ne skuplja. Vi znate kad štampate Fabriano ili Hanemile ili nije važno, uvek se u prolazu za milimetar, much better, za milimetar ili 2 može da se istegli, a ovaj papir se ne menja.
So all the Western papers, all the cotton papers with shorter fibers are more likely to change shape.
Svi zapadni papiri, bez obzira i kad su najkvalitetniji, zbog toga što imaju kratka vlakna u papirnoj pumpi, oni se tegle prilikom štampanja. Ko štampa 2-3 prolaza, svaki put im se malčice ispegne. A ovi papiri mogu da trpe i po 10 i po 15 prolaza, oni se nikad u stvari ne skupljaju, ne rastegle se, ne razvlače se.
It's so nice that everyone's interested in paper.
But it's very important.
It's very important, and people don't realize how important it is. Okay, so this is called scissor script, and this corner is going to go right in there, right in there. See, now the second time it's a little easier because the block is already warmed up.
Prvi otisak je uvijek bleđi kao u svakoj štampi dok se skroz ne popuni slika.
Now we change again to green. So we did this one, we did this one.
What was that? A blue.
Yeah, we don't use blue now. Green.
Pa se ne radi u kecilji, ja bez plastične kecilje ne počinjem da radim ništa.
Very tidy.
Very tidy, very clean. Nisu ruke do laktova u boji, pa posle ne možeš da skineš. Nokti su čisti.
Sve sam se baš čudila kad sam vidjela. Nisam uvek.
What did you think?
Yeah, I said that I was surprised that your nails wasn't
yes,
black.
It's very
We're always in color until... and
yeah, I like that. I like
several times I had on the face.
Now this is, it's non-toxic, except I don't eat the color.
Yeah, we do that often.
It's not good to eat the color. But everything else is non-toxic. The paste, well, the wood, I guess you wouldn't want to eat wood, but it's all very safe and very clean.
But it's also very modern in tendency because nowadays all the world...
It goes around, yeah.
Yes.
This is 17th century, but nowadays it's non-toxic. People care about that now.
Imperativ da je netoksično, sve samo da nije otrovno, samo da je ekološki. Da.
Možda ponegde nije to.
Aha.
Okay, it's getting there. See, I want it to be black in the middle though. So I do green and then black.
Okay.
So we'll see if that works. And for black, I'm going to use Sumi ink. It's actually Chinese ink I got in Belgrade.
Aha. U sredini hoćete imati.
Dump it out, it'll get all over the place.
Kad budete gledali malo Hokusajeve grafike ili Shigonike, Utamare ili Hiroshige, onda ćete vidjeti kako se kod njih često meša boja, ono što mi zovemo iris, a to u stvari omogućuje ovaj pristup četkom. Vidite kako se ono sa četkom dobije fine prelaze, tako da i...
Just a small amount to emphasize the middle. Yeah. It's just a little,
Yeah, excellent.
just a little accent. So let's see if I can manage to do that again. This is the part that's a little hard to control, this blue printing. Hard to see. Well, I didn't even talk about the verandas.
Okay.
All my registration's off, the paper's a little bit wrinkled. Well, you see I have 3 different berens also. And my Baron Wata, this comes from Japan too.
What's that?
It's wool with oil in it.
Oh, good. So oil, where?
Oil all through here.
Oh. Znači,
It helps
malo
it
je
slide.
kec koji
You
je
go like this.
naognjen,
It helps it slide
da
across
bi,
the
da
back.
bi lakše klizio.
Baron Wata from Japan. Who reads Japanese? It says Baron Wata. Telephone number too.
Staniša možda zoveš.
So there's all kinds of specialized supplies. So this is my weakest baren for very thin paper. And my demonstration is on thin paper, so I used my weakest baren.
Ovo je najnežniji za ovaj najtanji papir.
And then I have my medium baren, which is called a Murasaki baren. You can see inside it has a coil of string. So that this has bumps underneath the bamboo. You can pass it, well, you can touch them and look at them. And then my strongest baren is this one.
Ovo je najgrublji sa najvećim ovim.
This one's very strong. And this one, if I use this one on a thin paper, it can squash the paper. So you have to be
Sa
careful.
ovim išla na suviše tanak papir, pocepala bi ga, tako da prema vrsti papira, prema žilavosti papira ima i finoću alat.
So we have the cutting tools, we have the brushes, we have the pigments, and we have the barens. When I have another block here. Who had asked about the wood?
Ko je pitao da
The wood? This is basswood, which is similar to linden, but this is a plywood.
That's why I asked.
And this is cherry, so it's harder and clearer image.
But traditionally it should be on fruit wood.
Ukiyo-e print on fruit wood. I am a contemporary artist. Remember, I'm the publisher, the carver, the printer, and the artist, all in one. So, I use softwood to be quick. But occasionally I did carve this. It took a lot. This took longer than this because it's very hard.
But what's amazing in that softwood, you make such a perfect results because it's very strict, very clear. For Shinkole.
For Shinkole, yeah.
Everything, and such product doesn't
You can use
exist
wheat
here.
paste. How do you put wallpaper on?
Lepak za tapet.
Mi njega koristimo za šinkovanje.
Yeah, just a weak.
Toothpaste?
No, not
Baš
too
lepak,
big.
baš lepak za tapet.
But a weak glue, a weak water-based paste.
Yeah.
I don't think Elmer's. It has to be resoluble. But I can't. You must have that.
Ne, niste vi još
It's very common
sledeće
thing.
godišnje vreme.
There is
Ovo je
well
za
method
peto.
for cellulose.
To treće godine.
But what do you
The
use?
market
Oh,
here.
what about wheat paste?
I don't know.
Wheat paste.
I use glue for bookbinding.
That's probably acrylic base.
Yeah, it's acrylic.
Yeah.
It's very strong.
Yeah, water-based is better.
Znači onaj
But
lepak
rice
za
paste.
tapete koji su u vodi rastvara, taj može da zameri.
A wheat paste would be good, like very fine wheat with water. But what it does, it breaks the surface tension so it prints smoothly instead of with texture.
To omogućuje u stvari da meko ide da se u stvari štampi, da se taj pigment proveže, da je na neki način vezivo za pigment, jer ne može samo voda ga ne drži, znači mora da ima i taj dodatak.
The most difficult thing to find is the rice, and also we shouldn't call it rice paper. We should call it handmade Japanese paper. Washi is the Japanese paper.
Nema veze sa pirinčanim papirom, nego je to japanski papir, ručno pravljeni koji je na bazi biljaka, kože naročito.
Because it's not made from rice.
A pirinčani papir koji mi zovemo uopšte nije pravljen na pirinčani.
The wood you can get, you can use stencil brushes.
pigments, we can buy pigments.
You can buy pigments. The tools, the Japanese tools are better, but regular woodcut tools are also fine to use. Also, you only need one, and it lasts a lifetime.
Ne morate da imate 100 različitih alat.
You take good care of it.
A drugo, drvorez, kao što je i ona sama koja je maksimalni profesionalac radi, znači ne mora da bude skupo drvo, može da bude šperploča. Bitno je da se izreže
This stone is a little dirty, but I would say also to maintain the Japanese tools, you sharpen them on a water stone.
Da, i za oštrenje japanskog alata mora da bude dobar kamen i na vodenoj bazi se oštri. Znate da može se stavi ili ulje ili vode, znači japanski samo voda.
Oh, here's the inside of the barrel. This is the bamboo. Yeah, this is what's inside.
So what's that beside?
It's a coil made from bamboo sheath, like this.
Znači od lišća, od bambusa se u stvari vlakna cepaju i onda se upliću. I saw some documentary and it's very complicated how they made it.
Yep. It's another craft tradition.
I to je
It's like you use the paper maker,
poseban zanat.
the tool maker, the person who makes the baren. So this one is made from a cord. This one is more expensive and made from it's a sheath of bamboo. See mine, and this is the stronger one. So this is a coil made from this bamboo stuff. Very strong.
Ima neko još da pita?
Možete da pogledate ove isto njene grafičice. To je par komada, slobodno uzmite, vidite kako izgleda.
We have your poster.
Oh, beautiful. Wow. That looks great. Yep. There's my information from when I was here 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Je učestvovao u grafičkoj radionici u Višegradu.
Scissors?
Kao makaze, uzmeš kao makaze.
Okay, that's how it's going to go.
Ona super na engleski.
So first, first we'll put some water.
Yes,
Let's get the baren ready. Wait a minute, where's the barens?
Ne, ona super.
I got it.
Automatski prevodim.
Yes, all of that.
To je to što sam pričala s auto, što svira, što svašta radi.
Je li ukusno?
That's it, that's good. And then a little of this. That's plenty. And then you mix them together on the block.
Pazi, njihovi fotoaparati su mnogo skupi.
Don't get it up here, because that'll print.
No, that's not right. Ćeš imati svoje.
Oh, and this is a difference in carving. In the Japanese, you don't carve away the raised area, because you're only putting color on the center where it's printed.
Sorry?
Oh, good. But you can understand if you print it with a spoon. Okay, so this one's almost ready, it needs the green. Now, I don't want any dry spots, and I don't want any puddles.
Neće ti da.
It's good, it's good.
Okay.
But it's drying while we talk. Okay, slide it in.
Jako brza tehnika, to nema, odmah se suši, nema čekanja.
And then you feel this one. I think what's special about this, not like Photoshop, you feel it. All around.
Ne moraš s tom težinom.
I think it's done.
Do you have some more paper?
Oh, I didn't bring a whole lot. Let me see what I have. And some of it needs to be dampened. That's good.
Ne, posle tražiš veću ocenu zato što si ovo radio. Odmah da se dogovorimo, nema.
That's good. And some water. I love this solvent. Oh, now maybe, see, this paper is a little heavier, so maybe we'll use the stronger Baren. You want to pick that up and put it in the middle. This stays clean and no puddles. Okay, now we're going to use the ball-bearing Baren. See, this paper is heavier. So we bring it here.
Go like this?
Yes. It's going to go, this goes right in here. Yeah. Feel it click into position. And this. Feels nice, right? Feels smooth.
Yes.
Now feel this one to contrast. It's weaker, right? Okay, it's done. It goes very quickly.
Bravo.
Can I try?
Yes, one more.
I did.
Now, the last person had very much color on. So this time, we don't add any color. See, there's a lot of ink here still. So we just add a little water.
Just
Yeah, and spread that around. And then this is the lighter paper, so we're going to switch back to the lighter Baren. I forgot to bring my little rubber. You know, my little rubber thing. Here you go. Goodbye. Thank you for coming. That's you? Oh, this one. No, this one. Thank you for coming. Yes?
Zato što je taj papir vrlo fin, onda mora ovaj najfiniji da ide. A ovo je bio jako debel, kako se poredi, je nevjerovatna rana.
Let's feel this one, just for contrast.
Pitanje
Really
je.
different, right? Too strong for that paper. Now they're different. His was very strong, and hers is very delicate. And you see in the print, they're a little bit different feeling. He put more color on. He put more color, and he pressed harder. We didn't add any color, and she pressed more gently. So when you print, you lighter, darker, more or less. You're always evaluating the amount of pressure and color and water.
Ovo ste sve razumeli, znači uvijek se prilagođavamo koliko hoćemo svetlije, tamnije, jače, intenzivnije, koliko je papir tanji, koliko je papir deblji, znači pritisak, količina svega, to je bukvalno jedan fini balans šta hoćete da postignete.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Everybody's so excited about it.